All right, fountain pen people, here we are on another Inkvent calendar day for 2024. The day is the 21st of December, which takes us down to the bottom of the calendar here for another bottle of ink. And today is Cosmic Glow. Sorry about that, seeing what we wrote yesterday. This is a extreme sheen ink from Diamine for today. Cosmic Glow, and you can see it here. I've got this on this piece of Rolodex card that's kind of absorbent, but even so, it is incredibly red with that magenta sheen. And here it is on a piece of Clairefontaine or Rhodia paper, and it's got sheen, maybe not as much as that Rolodex card, but the color reminds me a lot of something that's on the next page, which is Organics Studio Nitrogen. Maybe not as much sheen and maybe not quite as red, but the color is similar. Another similar one would be Diamine's Skull and Roses. I don't know if you can see the two there. The one for the Cosmic Glow has more sheen, but it's in the same color family. There's so much sheen on it, though, that it kind of obscures the color underneath, but it seems to be similar to Skull and Roses. So maybe it's just an amped up version of Skull and Roses. Anyway, let's get it into a pen and see how it writes. And I want to put it into another pen that I picked up this year. And this is, to those of you who recognize this box, this is the Kaweco Piston Sport, which has been a kind of fun thing. I used to have a vintage Kaweco piston pen with a semi-hooded nib. Great pen. It had an oblique broad nib on it, and I sold it a while back just because I didn't use it very often. Oh, there we go. Finally got that tin open. I like the tin. It's kind of cool how it's debossed or embossed with that, that the writing and the shape of the pen there. And inside snugly fits a bottle of ink and the pen. I don't know what that's for. If anybody knows, that would be kind of cool to hear what that's about. Anyway, the pen comes out, and as you can see, it looks a lot like a Kaweco Sport, but a couple of things going on here. First, we've got a trim ring here in gold. The clip is gold. It looks like the classic clip. However, it is a part of the cap. It isn't slipped on like you have to do with the other sports, but it's got the same medallion at the top of the finial there. It unscrews just like the other sports. Same nib in gold color. Mine is a medium. And of course, you can see in there, you can see the window. And this pen is made out of aluminum. I think even this portion of the barrel is too, but clearly the window is made of plastic. Now, instead of this being the piston knob, you have to unscrew a blind cap, and then you can work the knob right here, which is kind of appreciated because this is ribbed and it is easier to manipulate than this would be because it's so smooth. But then you can put this back on regardless of where you set the piston. And it's kind of fun because there's also a medallion at the end of the piston knob, which is a nice detail. Anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll ink this up with this Cosmic Glow ink and see how it writes. If it will open up. Okay. Very tight caps. And I don't want to get this everywhere because this is one of those ones that's bound to stain just about everything it touches. Kind of like Organic Studios Nitrogen. And it draws ink up beautifully without any issues. I bet this holds a lot more ink than the sports do with a cartridge or converter. And yes, I have inked. I did ink it up once. I used the ink that came with it. And It writes very nicely. We'll see. But we'll see how it does with this heavily saturated sheening ink. All right. So this is, oh, come on. There we go. Diamine Cosmic Glow and a Kaweco Piston Sport with a medium nib. The paper is Kokuyo that I'm using here. It's a little more absorbent and has a bit more tooth to it than some of the smoother papers like Clairefontaine or Tomoe River. But this ink is for Inkvent 24, December 21. And as it dries, I'm seeing that sheen show up. So this is one of those inks that's going to sheen on just about anything. It seems to be writing a little bit dry on this pen, but again, we just barely inked it up. I don't know how it's going to work in days to come as the ink sits in there. But this is a fun one. If you've been looking for a sheening ink, this is probably a really good one. Diamine, of course, makes a good, reliable ink. And for those of you who've used nitrogen and know the problems with it, maybe this is a good alternative. Anyway, I hope you have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.